Hey, what's going on, guys? And today I'm actually going to be doing a video review for the GTK-XB72. So this is a really nice subwoofer that you can actually buy from Sony. This is something I picked up because I had actually already had the XB90, which is a bigger unit, very similar to this one. And I wanted to pick this up to utilize the party chain feature. So to give some idea, I have a massive 3-car garage, so you can see the size and the space of this area. We have a huge bay here. And I recently bought this home and we've really come to the conclusion that it's been a great party spot. So I have the other XB90 way down there. So what I really wanted was when I was using this speaker down there, while that thing got really loud, it didn't really quite fill the space not having some other sound. So I decided to add this in specifically for the party chain feature. So I want to go over just some of the functionalities of the unit itself, talk about some of the pros and the cons, and then we'll see if maybe we could even do a little bit of a demo if I can get it to connect. So the first thing about this unit you want to keep in mind, and you might be even comparing this to, I believe it's the XB60, I think is the model, that would be closest in comparison to this for power. This particular model is going to push out a little bit more power, a little bit more bass than that XB60 model for the same price point. The only difference is that this unit actually has to be plugged in. Now in my circumstance, because I already had the XB90 and that particular higher end unit does not need to be plugged in, I really had no desire or reason that this wouldn't be plugged in 24/7. I decided to hook it up to a little Belkin unit where I can actually power it on and off, and that way it's not just draining power at all times, and when I want to use it I just flip the switch and I'm ready to go. But I can leave it plugged in. I've got it on like a nice shelf here. It does take up quite a bit of space, but it does work perfectly. You also have the option if you want to put it upright, like you can see what I did with the XB90 down there. That unit is basically sitting upright. So I decided to do it sideways here because of course I have the shelf space. Why not do it like that? In terms of setting this thing up, you basically have your power button here. You can change your volume plus or minus. You also have an extra bass boost button, so if you want to turn this on, basically utilize the extra bass, you have that option. You can play your songs or pause them. You have tuning options. If you are connected to a radio, you have that functionality. You can add specific units, so there's different ways of connecting other devices with this, but if you want to add, you have that option. And then you've also got your party chain option, and I'll show how that works, as well as a live button. I have not utilized that, so I'm not 100% what the functionality is of that. And then you have a function button, so you can switch between Bluetooth, USB connection, you can do your tuner, or an audio in if you're connecting another device. Now on the back of the unit, I'll see if I can move this. You do have a few ports back here, so you've got your red and white aux, your microphone input, your USB. You have a party chain button, and then you've got your power cord as well. So that's pretty much everything. I think there's also a min-max, so if you want to crank up like how loud this actually gets, there is a little dial for that. So let me actually do a quick demo of this. I'll see if we can connect it, and then I'll even show the party chain to give an example. So I am using on my mobile device, this is the Android, this is an Android based phone, and I'm using Sony's entertainment app. So the nice thing about this is once you install this and you have this previously connected to the unit, you can actually pull up, by default you can see it will connect via Bluetooth, and then it gives me all of the options. So I can use my existing library, Fire Stable, which is an app that's built with Sony, gives it like some effects, like sound effects. I think it'll change like how the strobe lights work on the actual unit. And then you've also got your USB connection, your audio in, your tuner if you want, Spotify, and then tune in radio and additional settings as needed. So what I usually do as soon as I power it up, I'll actually do Spotify, and we'll go ahead and play a little bit of music. So I've got some metal here. Maybe we'll just do some Linkin Park. So that's almost full volume. So standing at the front of the garage, I can still hear this very, very clearly. Really fills the space really, really well for a space like this. All right, so I paused that and I want to show one last feature of this, which is really, really cool. So one thing I do want to note as well is I did have the extra bass functionality on. So this unit, again, it sounds great in here. I mean, it really does fill the space at high volume. What I'm gonna do now is actually hit the with party chain button. This actually puts it in a synchronized mode. And now what I can do is actually go connect my other device. So I'll go ahead and do that. Gonna run over here. And this is actually already on. So it should be pretty much ready to go, but same thing, I'm gonna hit with party chain. Actually, it's not powered on. So idly, these units will actually have the light effects going on, but they're not powered on until the screen light lights up. So this is now on, it's trying to find Bluetooth. I'm gonna hit with party chain, and it's actually gonna pick up on the Sony app on my phone that we have a party chain connection. So I'm gonna run back to my phone. And you can see here now I have a fourth option, if my camera comes in, XB72 party chain. So now if I play this, and I'll actually replay the same song after this connects. So you can see it's now connected. It shows us that we're in a party chain, and then it's gonna pop up all our options just like you saw before. So now if I hit Spotify, and then I'll just play the same song. Just play it from the beginning, and then I'll walk over to the other speaker and give you an idea of how good this sounds with both. So what's really cool about this is both of them play in sync. You can barely tell the difference. It really fills the whole space. And that was the reason that I decided to get this unit. So whether or not you decide to buy one of them, you could end up doing two of these if you wanted to do the XB90. Honestly, I can't tell I mean, I think at like really loud volume, I would say the XB90 definitely does a better job than this one, for sure. But ultimately, I mean, you're not going to have any issues with this thing really filling the space with sound. So unless you're really just looking for like the best sound possible, I would probably say this is a good buy, but just keep in mind the idea that you have to have it plugged in at all times is maybe a deal breaker for some of you. And if that's the case, definitely go pick up the XB60. I believe that's the model, like I said, or go with the XB90 like I have down there. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and talk to you later.
I actually found a pretty good deal on it. I'll put a link to that in the comment below so you can check that out if you are interested in picking one up for yourself.